Hello, and welcome to Anne-Marie's Workshop. My name is Anne-Marie, and I love to make things with joy. If you like to make things with joy, you have found the right place and the right people. Please like, subscribe, and share. Now, today is one of my anatomy of a show videos. It's not show. It is a little different, and because I'm going to feature two garments. If you have been hanging around this whole month of August with my Sew Reversible 2023 challenge, thank you so much. It's so encouraging to know that there are other people who are going to take their time, their money, and their effort to make a garment to participate. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. I hope you're having fun, because the whole point of this is fun. See things in a different light. Everything doesn't have to be reversible, but some things, it's nice when they're reversible. Right. So the first item that I made reversible is a happenstance item. I had this beautiful fabric with these giant flowers on them, and I wanted to use every single piece. So after I had finished the skirt, the dress, did I do the duster? No, that was another fabric. The skirt, the dress. I know I did something else with that. The Ogden cami, right? I had this unusual piece of fabric left, and I thought about, since I like to use my scraps, I thought bag, I thought bear. I thought of all different things that I use my scraps for, but I ended up with this shape that I think will work for a lot of people. So I ended up with this shape, which was kind of triangular and extended. And what I ended up doing is coming up, the shape was 45 inches wide, standard piece of fabric, 22 inches deep, because this, I guess this was the half of that wrap skirt, and it left this remnant, this little triangular remnant. And I had another couple pieces, and I cut out these little bands to tie. And what was so good about this is that when I wrapped it around and wore it, and I'll show myself wearing it, it was like a bandeau top that tied. You can tie it in front and then swift it around, and it covered those side rolls. So it was kind of a little play on backless, but where your curves come in, if you have back curves, they're covered by these side pieces. And of course, if I had leftover of this fabric, I had leftover of this fabric because this was my reversible fabric that I used in all those other garments. Light and fluffy. You can wear this over the top of a you could wear it as it is with a skirt, pants. You could also wear it under jackets. You could also wear it, those of you who are more adventurous can turn it around and have the tie in the front. But the rest of us, not so much. Anyway, so let me talk about the anatomy of it. It's so very simple. Now, of course, you're going to cut it to fit your body. But if you have a remnant left of a really beautiful fabric, and it's at least 45 inches wide, and it is 22 inches deep, then you would just cut. I made it about 8 inches wide, no, maybe 5 inches wide at this point, and then I just connected the dots to bring it down to the point. The only thing unusual about this is that I added these bands so that you could tie the garment. So it was just a regular square of rectangle of fabric that was 5 inches wide. And let me see how long it is. It is 17 inches long, but you have to remember that is for my body. If you have a smaller rib cage, then you might make these a little smaller, but this is kind of one of those things that you eyeball. The only extravagant thing I did to it is I added my signature pom-poms. This is the last of the pom-poms. I used up the last on this project. I did stitch very close to them to keep them in place so that when I turn this inside out, it kind of maintained its integrity. But I will show you myself wearing it, or actually I'll show it to you tomorrow. I'll style it tomorrow. But this is just a little something leftover remnant from a beautiful fabric that makes a nice top, especially on vacation, in the summer, picnics, and things like that. So now let me show you the next piece. Now my next garment, it's just my bad. I forgot about it. I made it. I forgot about it. It's not in the schedule for this month of reversibility. So I am tucking it in with the little wrap top. And it's Butterick 5362. It is one of my favorite dresses. It's super cool, super casual. I will show it to you in all its iterations that I've made it. I believe I've made it in red, white, and blue. I've made it in black and white, and I've made it in a really cool navy beige palm tree lighthouse. Wonderfully comfortable dress, flutters in the breeze. You can tie it in the front, you can tie it in the back. You can make the vest that goes along with it. I haven't made the vest because of heat. I don't think I need the vest yet. But also another aspect, it is wonderful with border prints. So if you buy a border print that's really spectacular to you and you just don't know what to do with it, this is your dress. Now it does take some bias tape. It does take some bias tape, but not that much. Just around the neck. I use bias tape just around the neck and just around the hem. And the reason I use bias tape is because if I make it reversible, in this case, I can keep the hem separate. Now this dress can only be done with 60-inch wide because it is an apron shape. Very simple to make. It's maybe a couple hours for you to make this, y'all. And it has ties, bias tape, like I said, 2.5 yards of 60-inch wide. When you see that really exotic border print, this is the dress for you. Now, like I said, this is an apron dress. It is very simple shape. And you can see how it accommodates a border print, okay? And it ties in the front. I have not figured out yet how to tuck some pockets into this. I'll let you know when I do. But it can tie in the front and have this effect, or it can tie in the back. And show like this. All right, also the band at the bottom, there's also accommodations for you to do some kind of artistic expression, embroidery, embellishments and stuff, and you can add a border print. That's in the pattern as well. Let me show you. That's on this version where they added some embellishments. So it's a really useful, pattern. So let me show you how I put it together. This is one side, and this is the other. This is that Ankara that is a different, it is the 50% spandex, 30% polyester, and 20% nylon. So this is the other side. Now, as you can tell, they both coordinate, so I could use the same navy binding on both of them. Now, both front and back of this pattern are not the same. There is a bust dart in the front side of the pattern. After I constructed both dresses, I added this navy blue bias tape to encapsulate both seams into one garment so that you could flip it from side to side. Because they're so breezy and comfortable, this will cut down on your packing. Next, it was time to join the two side seams, and I used my old hack of fusible web interfacing that will keep it in place. All right, after trimming and turning inside out, this is when I'm going to press very carefully because that web is going to hold those two pieces, those two different fabric types together, and I want them to stay nice and sharp and keep the one pattern on one side and one pattern on the other side. All right, once I insert the ties, she's done. One pattern on one side and one pattern on the other side. Now, one of the things I really love about this dress, I feel it can be encapsulated into fall and winter. Just change it, putting a t-shirt, turtleneck, long sleeve t-shirt underneath, and you're good to go. And it still has its ability to be reversible. I could see this also be done in a lightweight chambray on one side and a cool, fun uh, 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 quilting cotton on the other. I'm getting around to it. All right, y'all. So that is my anatomy of a tie top, bandeau tie top, and Butterick 5362 apron dress. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can find them. I think there's a few left on eBay, but I think you can almost maybe figure it out yourself because it's an apron shape. And so I enjoy this dress a lot. Like I've showed you the different versions. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this informative. I will style these tomorrow so you can see what they look like on. And I hope you're having a good month. All right. See you tomorrow.